This video explains the concept of pitch class and gives helpful shortcuts for learning and memorizing pitch class numbers. In tonal music, the spelling of a note typically indicates its function. For example, C sharp might function as the leading tone in the key of D minor, or a number of other possibilities. That same pitch, spelled as D flat, fits into different contexts. It might function as the chromatic upper neighbor to C, as one example among many. Theoretically, one could even spell that same note as B double sharp, or even E triple flat. Despite the variety of spellings, functions, and registers, all of the notes in the preceding examples actually belong to the same pitch class, or PC. A pitch class represents a pitch and all its enharmonic and octave equivalents. For music that is non-triadic and non-functional, the spelling of pitches is more arbitrary. It doesn't matter if we call the note C sharp or D flat if we aren't concerned with tonal function. What we need instead is a simpler way to name notes that will aid in studying mathematical relationships between them. A pitch class, with all its spellings and registers, can be represented by its pitch class number, a number between 0 and 11. Traditionally, C is 0, C sharp or D flat is 1, D is 2, and so on, moving up by half step. This system is called integer notation. Some books abbreviate the number 10 to T and the number 11 to E so that all of these are one character long. Notice there are 12 digits representing the 12 pitches in the octave. Set theory actually uses what is called mod 12 arithmetic. Our normal system of numbers and decimals is mod 10, or based on 10 unique digits, 0 through 9. We're accustomed to adding, subtracting, and so on using mod 10, so thinking in terms of 12 will take some adjustment. Luckily, there are some shortcuts to help you become more fluent with this system. When working within a 12-digit system, it may be helpful to imagine the pitches on a clock face, an everyday example of mod 12 most of us are familiar with. Putting one of these at the top of your test or quiz paper could help you avoid careless mistakes. Drawing a clock face by hand can be a bit tricky, but remember it doesn't have to be perfect. First, draw a 0 at the top of the space you'll be using. Drawing the outer edges next in a kind of diamond shape will help us keep everything aligned later. So next we're going to draw the number 3 to give us our right edge, then 6 directly below 0 for the bottom edge, and then 9 across from 3 to give us the left edge. Finally, just fill in the other numbers in the spaces between the ones you just drew. After the clock is drawn comes the most important step, associating each number with the pitch class. Start at the top and write the letter C. Then just go up by half step all the way around the clock. Although only common spellings are shown on this clock face, remember that all enharmonic equivalents are included for each digit. For example, pitch class 0 would also include B sharp, D double flat, or any other spellings. For example, here are several pitches with different spellings and registers that all can be categorized as pitch class 6. Integer notation gives us an easy way to represent all pitch classes with any spelling in any octave. If drawing isn't your forte, and the clock proves to be more of a distracting challenge than a quick and helpful tool, you can simply draw the numbers in a straight line instead. The concept is exactly the same, although it doesn't provide the same possibilities for visual patterns that can be helpful for memorization. Here are some visual tricks that can help you memorize pitch class numbers. Think of the halfway point of the clock, number 6, as also the halfway point of the octave, the tritone. This is how you can remember that PC6 is F sharp or G flat. You can then use that to remember nearby numbers, like 5 for F, or 7 for G, because they're only one half step away. Likewise, you can remember that the fully diminished 7th chord, all minor thirds, is outlined by the 4 corners of the clock, 0, 3, 6, and 9. The augmented triad, all major thirds, is along 0, 4, 8, or equal thirds of the clock. Although these tips and tricks can be helpful when you're first learning pitch class numbers, please keep in mind that memorizing them will be much faster and easier in the long run. Through practice, you'll become faster and more confident with pitch class numbers. In the same way that memorization of key signatures turned out to be much easier than building each scale from scratch every time, fluency with pitch class numbers will be much less hassle than drawing a clock or number line every time you need to label a pitch.